Hi, I'm Nigel Howarth and welcome to another shed session. And we're going to cook cauliflower for you today. And with the cauliflower dish, we've got spring onions. Have you ever seen sage that big? So some sage leaf, just have to be very delicate with that. Got some chestnut mushrooms, got a little bit of miso, got some coconut fat or oil. And then here we're going to make a sauce. So we've got a half veg stock and coconut milk, got a little bit of coconut yogurt, and then we've got flour and butter. Okay, so July is banging season for cauliflowers. Now you might think everybody knows that, you might think, but that's not actually the case, because most people think that cauliflowers, we tend to eat more cauliflower in the winter time, when A, they're more expensive, and B, the British season starts sort of June, end of May, June, and runs right through up to sort of November, depending on the weather. And of course, we're a very weather dependent country. So let's have a look at it then. I mean, cauliflowers as well taste different in summer than they do in winter. They're much more hardy, more fibrous as you get into those winter months. Okay, so we'll just get our little knife and nip off the outer leaves of the cauliflower. Then what I want to do is portion up the florets of cauliflower. So I'm going to just nip and try and break them away. Gotta be careful because that knife is really sharp. Because I want to take a little bit of the stalk with me. There. And as I break into the cauliflower now, you can see it's very firm. There you go. I was going to say I can break them, but I'm not breaking that. I'm not actually breaking that well. Okay, now once I've exposed, if you will, the head of the cauliflower, I can get to breaking them a bit better, because then I can get that length of stalk that I was talking to you about. Oops. Okay, and there's because I want the nice. I'm looking for nice shapes, aren't we all? But there you go. Right, and all that is edible if you want, and it makes a bit of stock. So you can. I mean, I used to always do this. You sort of take the stalks of broccoli, cauliflower, and pare them down. And in the good old days, we used to do turned vegetables. Remember all those? So there you've got a little bit of a wobbly turned stump of cauliflower, and it tastes lovely to eat. Okay, so let's get rid of that. In we go. And we've got our cauliflower. I'm going to move these ingredients over here, and then pop our butter into the pan. Okay. And we've got 30 grams of butter and 25 grams of flour. Okay, so now what I want to do while that's melting is just cut some of these bigger ones, florets, in half. Like so. And we're going to roast, this is a roast cauliflower dish. And it's nice to have different sizes. There we go. And we've got enough here really for 4 portions. We're just going to make 1 portion, but the recipe that you'll get will be for 2 portions. Okay, so spring onions, and I've picked these really nice large ones, and I'm going to just cut them down about that size. And I'm thinking I need 2 a portion. Okay, so I'm going to take me take 4 of them. Just cut the root away, and then just, if needed, take that outside little bit. We'll just check, because I don't want to take too much off. We'll just take that outer layer off, because it gets a little bit fibrous on anything. So always, you know, with onions, take that outer layer off. Right, we're melting. So that's our 4 spring onions. And then we just need to cut those in half really carefully. Oh, wonderful. Spring onions and cauliflower, you know, it just makes for a really tasty light dish. And using coconut oil is really wonderful with it. So let's have a look now. We'll pop our flour in. So it's almost like we're making that classic roux. There you go. We want this to be really thin. It's going to be a really very light sauce. Okay. And I'm going to pop some of our milk in there, which is the coconut milk, and just let it come back up. As often I say, let the starch molecules open, and then you will have a nice smooth sauce. I'm going to turn that down. It just feels a little bit hot, so don't want to burn that, and pop a little bit more in. There we go. So that's, don't forget, that's half veg stock and half coconut milk. Do you think that's an unusual combination, coconut and cauliflower? Works incredibly well if you do. It really does work incredibly well. So what we can do now is we're going to put the spring onions onto our tray here, and we're going to blowtorch those. So, and you'll find out why we're going to blowtorch those, because basically I don't want to be pan frying everything, you know. So blowtorching helps. It's going to colour the onions, and I can just pop them into the onion. This dish, the great thing about this dish, once you've got your sauce made, it takes 5 minutes. Really does. 5 minutes. Wish everything took 5 minutes. There you go. Right, so I've got that sauce coming up nicely. We'll whack the rest of that in there. And I've got a drop of water behind me if I need to let it down a little bit more. So I've got my coconut yogurt, which is, you know, I love this stuff. So it's just mellow, and I'm just going to put a spoonful of that in, like so. It just gives it a little bit of acidity. We'll let that come up nicely. Our pan's nice and warm now, so I've wrapped up the coconut fat as it was in a really big, and that's looking hot. That's looking hot. So if it looks too hot, which it straight away does, let's have a look. It's on number 7. I'm surprised it's that hot, but I'm going to turn it down. I do need it hot, but I don't need it where it's going to burn the cauliflower. So, okay, I've just moved it away, and then we're going to pop the cauliflower in. Okay, and that's about half of the cauliflower. Okay, so we'll put the other half here. And then what I need to do now is season that. Don't forget to just season the cauliflower. Okay, and now I'm looking at my sauce. And I could just bob a whisk in there probably now and just finish that off. So let's have a little look. Yeah. And it is still a little bit thick. And we'll need to season that up. Okay. So I just want to check for that cauliflower. And you see, lovely and golden. So I'm going to flick it over. Once I've got that like so. Okay. And I'm going to take a spoon just to do that. Turn it over like so. How lovely is that? And then I'm going to season it up again on the top side. What I need to do now is pop it in the oven for 4 minutes. There we go. So what I need to do now is take a couple of these spring onion tops. We need 2 mushrooms, and here now we're going to blowtorch. So I need to just pop, hopefully when I put these in there'll be 2 minutes left, because they only need 2 minutes. And again, okay, so blowtorch. And again, everybody has a blowtorch at home, don't they? Not really. What am I doing on my timer? Oh, 2 minutes. I'm going to be behind here. I'm going to turn that right down to number 2. Here we go. Right, there we go. Bottom dropped off there, so we better get them in now. And those, remember, because your tray will be hot, so grab hold of it from the other end and just pop them in there like so. And then, okay, cut that the scrawny bit off the top, and then just carefully, carefully just go through that spring onion. And there's my timer to tell me the cauliflower is ready. Okay, so I'm going to pop that up to the top there, and then remember now, I'll move these away. Yep, we know the cauliflower should be ready. Okay, so what I do need to do is just double check and just see that, yeah, it's perfect. I can see on my knife. And what I don't want to do, what I don't really want to do, absolutely, is overcook the cauliflower, because that would be disastrous. So let's have a look. Got our tray there. Let's get a little bit of kitchen roll. And we need to work quickly now. Okay, so I'm going to put cauliflower like so. Whew. And they're hot. They're hot. Vegetables get hot. Put that pan at the back. Clean. Okay, and then we'll go for this. So I'm just cutting a few slices of chestnut mushroom. Got my miso here. Right. I've not forgotten the spring onions. So, and how's my sauce? My sauce is going to need a bit of a blitzing. So, we're going to do that in a minute. So, miso. So, I've got a brush here, and I'm just going to do a twirl and another twirl on the bottom, because I want this sort of fermented flavour just to come through as we're eating. That's all. That's all's going to happen there. Okay, so cauliflower. Let's have a look. Put one there. Use the different shapes that you've got. Okay. Just try and get that little one, little baby one in the middle. Okay. And then I'm hoping. All right. My spring onions now are ready. So I can move these cauliflowers away. Of course, I did say 2 portions, so. And then with these spring onions, we're going to pop those on. I'll use that spoon as it is a little bit wood. Okay, I've got some spring onions there. Can you see that? And then we're going to pop our mushroom. So we're using raw mushrooms here, which is giving us a different sensation, a different texture. Okay, and here we go. 4 is enough. I don't want to overdo it. Right, I need my gadgets here. So it's nice and thin. Okay, that'll do. I'm not after a foamy sauce, I'm just after, that just lightens it, okay? Don't forget your sage leaves. So these beautiful big sage leaves, I'm just going to wrap up, and then I just want just a few, almost just a few filaments really. Okay, so sauces at the ready. If you want at home, you can put more on, put more sauce on it. There we go. Put a little drizzle of olive oil, and then and that's your roast stew of cauliflower and spring onions with a little bit of miso on the base just to push the flavours through. Okay, really light and lovely for summer. Thank you. Hi, I'm Nigel Howarth. If you like what you've just seen, then subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on social media. Enjoy!